Back now with Endgame, and joining us for this segment is Ben Rhodes. Ben was President Obama's Deputy National Security Advisor, and he's just written a new book, The World as It Is, a memoir of the Obama White House. And we're also pleased to announce that Ben is going to be joining NBC News and MSNBC as a political and national security contributor. Ben, welcome to NBC and welcome to Meet the Press, or welcome back to Meet the Press. This was a week where the culture wars popped up yet again. Between the Roseanne situation, the Samantha Bee situation, and of course race is intertwined in all of this. And I want to pull out the first excerpt of your book I want to talk about is this. You write, racism was a constant presence and absence in the Obama White House. We didn't talk about it much. We didn't need to. It was always there, everywhere, like white noise. It was there when a New York reality show star built an entire political brand on the idea that Obama wasn't born in the United States, an idea that was covered as national news for months and is still believed by a majority of Republicans. What point were you trying to make with this?
Well, people would often ask me, what did President Obama really think about race? And the point I was making there is that he took it as a given that some of the opposition to him was rooted in racism. And that's what I mean by we didn't always have to talk about it. We would practice for press conferences with you, Chuck, and say, well, you might be asked, is some of this opposition rooted in race? And he'd say, yes, next question, and kind of chuckle. But something more serious was underlying that, which is that, I think he'd internalized kind of a Jackie Robinson ethos, which is, I accept this. I accept that there's going to be more scrutiny. I accept that there's going to be an element of race in some of the opposition I face. But I'm just going to try to perform the duties of this office with as much integrity as I can.
Does President Obama believe that it seems that you're implying here, and I remember asking him this question, and he says, ask me after I'm out of office, that his election is how Donald Trump got elected?
Well, there's so many causal links you could draw to the Trump election. I think what I talk about at the end of the book and some of the excerpts that have run, including the one you had with Trudeau, is we were on that last final foreign trip where he saw Justin Trudeau. And he had gone through many different iterations of trying to figure out what happened in the election. How much of it was Russia, how much of it was the campaign that had been run on the Democratic side, how much of it was Trump's message. But part of it was a sense that the world as a whole had globalized very rapidly. And we're meeting with Angela Merkel, who's kind of a leader of the international order, who'd welcomed in all these Syrian refugees. She's all alone. She had a tear in her eye the last time she saw Obama. Trudeau feeling somewhat stranded here in North America. And I think what he was getting at is not just like race or his own presidency, but the rapidity at which trade and the freedom movement of peoples had made some people uneasy. That dynamic in the Brexit election in the UK and in the election here had something to do with Trump being able to find this politics of grievance that could lead people to the polls.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and then click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.